There were some discussions that were floated last market cycle that unfortunately didn't materialize. The timing wasn't right. We didn't have the right rollouts take place. We didn't even have smart contracts until the height of the last market cycle. But now that we've made all this progress through the bear market into the early part of the bull, we're now more positioned than ever to do exactly this. Cardano actually becoming bigger than Ethereum. This is actually a conversation that Charles Hoskinson was just having. And I want to talk about that with you guys, what this might look like, because this could be several different things. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So obviously the big thing that people really care about is price. Can ADA become bigger than Ethereum from a price standpoint? That's the number one thing people want to know. And right now, when we look at prices overall, we're sitting at this point where Ethereum is a $445 billion market cap. ADA is down here at we'll call it a measly $31 billion market cap. So we're about a 15x away from flipping Ethereum. So that's a pretty significant move for us to make. We need to see a lot of things push ADA to get us to that point, as well as see some Ethereum stagnancy, right? Now, that being said, there are some people suggesting that we have some pretty strong momentum building. For example, Javon Marks is actually highlighting the fact that he thinks ADA is not going to see really any downturn until we see $1.30, right? These little red blips that we're seeing like today are kind of nothing on this grand scheme of our push all the way up to our local high, which was back here obviously in December. Do I think that's the case? It's possible. Like I've talked about, these are very thin areas of liquidity. We could definitely see some volatility and some chop in here. But I think once we start getting out into no man's land, getting a little bit into price discovery here, break out through our longer term trend, that's when the discussions start to change. And frankly, once ADA sets a new all-time high, that's where the mindset shifts completely. That's where all the people that we're saying ADA is not going to even hit the prior all-time high, that's when they shut up, and that's when people start having bigger questions, because then it comes down to tech and development. And I want to talk about this more here in just a moment, but before I do that, I do want to give a big shout out to the sponsor of this video. Now, if you guys have not checked out Sapphire yet, or SST, I would recommend doing so. There are links in the description below for you guys to check this out. But we talked about this the other day, and they're actually building out, or have built out, this game called Gold Inc. This is actually an MMO. It's currently available on the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. I have this downloaded. I've been playing this for, gosh, about 2 weeks now. I'm not very good. Apparently my gaming days have kind of left me behind, but they're building this whole ecosystem around this SST token, which powers not just Gold Inc., but all the games in their ecosystem. Now, again, these links are going to be in the description below for you guys to check out, but this coin is currently in pre-sale, and why this is so important is this has so many different utilities within the ecosystem. For example, just want to scroll down to the use cases. So you can purchase limited collections like Founders Passes, Gold Inc, Genesis, Dredges, and Stellar Founders ships using Sapphire token mined in Gold Inc. There's also, you can get consumables, so one-off in-game items that players can use and consume with each play, different cosmetics inside the game as well. You can actually trade items in SST in their marketplace from NFTs to consumables. There's actually rewards that you can earn through mining gold in Gold Inc. as well. VIP access. There's game packs like we talked about. And in fact, if you guys are getting into the presale, remember, you can actually earn up to 30% bonus SST, and you can get a 50% discount on in-game packs as well. And you can wager these. I know some people do like betting, so you can bet against me in the game if you want. You probably kick my butt. But why this is such a big deal, guys, is like I've mentioned before, we have not seen gaming take off in a big way in this market cycle yet, but it is coming. It is a big focus of retail. It was one of the better performing sectors last market cycle. And in fact, something like Axie Infinity got up to $1 billion market cap without really a whole lot going on. Now, guys, remember, these games are currently live. This is in pre-sale at a $10 million market cap, meaning that it has truly some huge potential for the upside. I have gotten into this pre-sale. I'm very excited about what it can do. Like I mentioned, the last pre-sale I got into that was gaming related actually did a 40x, did incredibly well, surged from 20 cents a token to $8 a token. So pretty exciting stuff. So again, feel free to check these out. Links are in the description below for you guys. Again, don't forget you can earn up to a 30% bonus in SST, as well as those 50% discount on in-game packs. And we're going to talk about this more obviously as time goes on, because this is a project I'm pretty excited about. Now, let's get back to Cardano here. Now, this was all coming from a discussion that Charles Hoskinson was having. He has a belief that Cardano will be bigger than Ethereum. So obviously we've talked about price, but I want to talk about all these other strides that Cardano has made. When we really think about it, when we talk about GitHub commits, what chain is doing more in terms of development? It's Cardano. We talk about scalability. Whether that's Hydra, whether that's the Midnight sidechain, whether that's Ouroboros Laos, who is doing more to prepare for big adoption coming? Cardano is. When we talk about enterprise and government interest, who is currently being used by enterprises and governments throughout the world? Who's currently going through that major test phase? Cardano is. Who currently has a chain that you can actually use, right? And what I mean by that is who doesn't have issues with gas fees? Cardano doesn't, right? Who doesn't have issues with downtime or security? Cardano doesn't. Really, when we compare the two chains, really the main difference that you can see is just the active users. And why that is such a big discrepancy with there, why there's such a big difference, is Ethereum was first to market. Now, obviously, they weren't first overall. BTC was first to market, but Ethereum had the first quote-unquote scalable, usable model at the time. But if you haven't noticed, this is why other blockchains have in fact been gaining a ton of traction. And when we talk about Cardano, it is gaining very significant traction behind the scenes. Maybe not from the retail aspect yet, and that's fine. Like I've talked about, retail coming to Cardano may not be the thing that gets Cardano off the ground. It's like I was talking about yesterday. It's probably going to be governments and enterprise, right? And that is where we make those big leaps. When we enter a true utility-driven era, which we're starting to shift into, you want to have the tech that can do all the things. You want to be able to handle the infrastructure. You want to be able to be the chain to rule them all. And right now, that's what Cardano is going through. It's gone through significant growth. And guys, this isn't a meme coin. This isn't one that is just out there in namesake, that got to the market quickly, that has all these flaws, that's a fun, exciting thing for retail. It's a chain that's been built to stand the test of time. And now we are truly starting to see some of the execution on that take place. Hopefully that makes sense for people. But I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, check out the sponsor of this video. Links are in the description below. Check out, see if you want to get some SST. But have a great day. Show your love below. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.